That's usually the story I tell people. It's funny, attention-grabbing, and different. And although it is the truth, my crochet education really only began there. It continues at the end of a long chain of stitches I had began working on 2 years before, or in other words, 3rd grade. I walked into my 3rd grade class and sat down apprehensively on the carpet to await the announcement of my teacher. Finally, having heard my name, I jumped up to greet the woman who would give me a tic-tac every time I visited her over the next 5 years, and who would finally teach me how to double back on my crochet chain to make something beautiful. This woman, to whom I would like to dedicate this drosh, was Joanne Schwartz. In this week's Torah portion, Parshat Naso, we are introduced to one of, if not the, backbone prayer in Judaism, besides the Shema, the priestly blessing. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ye'er Adonai p'nav elecha v'yichunecha, Yisa Adonai p'nav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. I would like us to consider for a moment this blessing's connotation rather than its meaning. As a blessing of inheritance, the Birkat HaKohanim has been passed down from priests to nation and parents to children. It has flowed from generation to generation, building and growing, protecting and enveloping. It is the mint tic-tac with subtle Coca-Cola undertones given to a young 3rd grade me. It is intrinsically Lador Vador. The Jewish value of Lador Vador, or from generation to generation, denotes our continual survival, our reoccurring beliefs, and unending tradition. It gives all Jews a purpose and connects every generation from the inception of our people. However, neither Lador Vador nor the Birkat HaKohanim insists on an unchanging existence. Both are open-ended concepts that allow interpretation and innovation. When viewing a scarf as a whole, you see a pattern in its entirety. Every stitch and color creates a shape, defines a volume, and builds a structure. Lador Vador conceptually develops the Jewish people, the entire nation. The interconnections between centuries of our generations have created a common identity and a common truth. But close up, each stitch differentiates itself from its neighbor. They tie on to the previous with a Birkat HaKohanim, and then grow on to be their own. All parents raise and protect their children throughout their adolescence and want to continue guarding their children for the rest of their lives. However, children grow up and move on to develop themselves. Generations change and create new common truths, and tic-tacs are no longer handed out as regularly. As a graduating senior, I will be leaving my home to create my own world and my own person. When I matriculate into Skidmore College, I must grow and delineate myself as a new stitch. A liberal arts education defines itself by its multifaceted curriculum. I will explore my interests, expand my realm of understanding, and develop my personal being. Yet, I will always maintain some form of connection to my Birkat HaKohanim. As much as I change and metamorphose, my origins and foundations will forever live. Mint tic-tacs will always indistinctly taste like Coca-Cola, and the basic crochet stitch will never change. I must begin anew, but if I lose the generations before me, I will not grow. Instead, I will collapse. Abraham Joshua Heschel Day School is my base as much as it is every 8th grade graduate's. The education it provides greatly prepares each of its students, not only for high school, but also for life. That is so because the education and the lesson plans do not stand alone or without strong moral bedrock. Cuando aprendí español con Ivanka, también valorizaba la cultura extranjera. When I learned Spanish with Ivanka, I also learned to value the culture of the other. When I analyzed To Kill a Mockingbird with Deborah, protecting others' rights became compulsory. When I watched Super Size Me in Kathy's class, I scientifically understood the value of staying healthy. When I learned how to calculate the volume of something in Patty's math class, that something consisted of the amount of water a well needed to produce to sustain a poor African village. Furthermore, I calculated how much revenue must be raised in order to build and maintain the quality of that well. Finally, when I learned from Joanne how to crochet a square, I stitched each stitch in conjunction with each ethical direction I added to my moral compass. As one era of Heschel comes to a close, a new generation must quickly define itself. Do not lose track of the generation of leadership leaving. Rather, keep it as a stitch that builds a pattern and then augment it with a new color that transforms this warm and cozy scarf into a sweater whose pockets hold endless amounts of Tic Tacs for any small third grader who may need one. And with that, I thank you for having me here today. Heschel will always hold a special place of love and honor in my heart. I cannot wait to return year after year to see all of you who helped to shape the young man I am today. Toda rabah.
We looked it up.